What's going on, everybody? It's your boy DG from DG Mindset. Welcome back. Now, if you're like every other human being on this earth, at some point you have wrestled with this thing called anxiety. A lot of times we hear about it and it's like this elephant in the room and this big, gnarly, scary beast. But let's go ahead and jump into it right now. Okay, let's understand first what the ego is, okay? How the ego actually works. So I like to think of the ego as almost like a jackal or a gremlin that can only exist in two places, the past and the future. Peace could only reside in the present moment. Peace, joy, love, kindness, gentleness, it was all in this little sliver. See, the ego created these two houses that it lived in the quote-unquote past and the quote-unquote future. So when our mind is off in the future, we're gonna feel stress, we're gonna feel anxiety, we're gonna feel fear. That's a telltale sign that the ego is running wild, that the jackal has come out of its hole and it's running rampant in your life. So the key was to recognize where your mind was when you were having these anxious thoughts. Notice how I just said anxious thoughts. That was the second key, was you creating separation from the ego and observing your thoughts instead of being your thoughts. See, the ego wanted you to make you think that you were your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You are the awareness or consciousness that is behind the thoughts, watching them. So the way you talk to yourself matters. Don't say, I'm anxious. Instead, say, I am having anxious thoughts. Completely different energy. Now you're observing your thoughts instead of being your thoughts. That was step 2. Step 3, understanding that when I feel anxiety, the first question I need to ask, why are you feeling anxious? By doing that, I have created ultimate separation to observe the behavior of the ego, and now the ego has no choice but to start to subside, because remember, the ego only lives and only runs rampant because we're unaware of it. When you shine that flashlight of awareness on it, this is how you start to combat anxiety. So I know a couple years ago when I had a panic attack, it was because I was so worried about what was going to happen. The reality of it is the thing that I was worried about that created this panic attack never even happened. Your job is to be aware of the reason why you are feeling anxious. So you keep asking why. Ask the ego repeatedly, what is it? And then when it gives you the answer, go ahead and ask why again. And then go ahead and ask why again, and eventually you will get to the root of it. When you have that level of awareness of what the root cause is, you will see your anxiety level start to go down. Here's the other thing, coming back to the present moment. This is how you combat anxiety. You can do it on the mental plane, but we can also use the physical body as a way to come back. A lot of times we can breathe. Sometimes I'll just sit here and rub my hands together and feel the sensation and look at them. Sometimes I'll just look at the scenery around, look at the lights. Maybe there's a cloud in the sky that I'll just sit there and watch and notice the shape of it. By doing that, I'm coming back to the sliver of the present moment, and now the ego can't run rampant in the future. So anxiety is not what you are experiencing anxious thoughts. Understanding that these anxious thoughts are not you. Getting to the bottom of why it happened. Why is this happening? What is it? And then coming back to the present moment. That's your safe space. It's almost like when you used to play tag when you were a kid. Remember, you always had home base? The present moment is your home base. When you can come back here, nothing, no tactics of the ego can touch you. And this is where you are going to find heaven on earth. If this video helped you, go ahead and hit like, go ahead and hit subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment at the bottom to tell how much this has helped you. And if you're struggling with anxiety or you're having anxious thoughts, go ahead and put that in the chat so we can go and help you continue on your path to finding out who you truly are. As always, it's your boy DG, and until next time, be good.